To ECS, we are going into our final map of the day. We'll get some sleep after this one, but I don't think I'd want to leave anyway, because this is going to be an exciting one. We're going into Dust 2, we've got TSM, we've got Cloud9, and after Mirage being much, much closer than expected, I'm really looking forward to Dust 2.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, I mean, Dust 2 is like the great equalizer in which, you know, any team kind of has a little shot at victory. I think after how well we saw TSM play just there and almost take that map off of Cloud9, which is one of their statistically best maps.
It is the best map for them, no doubt.
You know, almost taking that out from underneath them. It definitely bodes well for them as we look to head into Dust 2. And I think we could be seeing a really close game on our hands.
The big thing, though, I have to still look at, okay, who would I say would be the most prominent AWPer? I always want to talk about AWPers on this map, and although Semphus had some moments, I've still got to go Skadoodle. This is a map that he is just brilliant on. Really looking forward to see the way they sort of set up. I'm expecting him to be on the sort of short position and just holding that AWPer role, maybe in a sort of more variable spot, especially if they have some decent setups, but I want to see how sort of Desi fits into these setups, because although he has played with them quite regularly, so there should be a few, and it is Dust 2, so most of the smokes he should know. Like, you should know most of those smokes. Maybe a couple or so that don't fit quite in with their setups overall. But as said, he is their pick of stand-ins. He's the person that they always go to when they need someone for help. And I think that should mean going into Dust 2, they should have everything pretty much set and ready to fight this one back. And it was shown on Mirage. Like, he wasn't like the odd one out. It didn't seem like he was the standout worst player behind everybody else. He still had some impact. And I really looked forward to the sort of step up of Relics as well. I think he had some great plays, important, impactful T-sided entry kills, and if he can step up as well, if Semphus can find some nice all picks, and of course Sick just does sick things, then they might be able to take this one over the line. Of course, you do still have Cloud9 and pretty much 5 phenomenal players.
Yeah, no, I mean there are a lot of things waiting against TSM, definitely, but that's not to say they're not within the shot. I don't know how many times I can stumble on my words in the space of 10 seconds, but apparently a lot. Yeah, you know, it's not to say they're not within a shot of victory here, especially after we saw just then on Mirage. It finished it off to, what was it, a 16-12 scoreline, I'm fairly sure. And yeah, no, I mean, it was looking at one point like TSM could have taken it. It was 12-12. Cloud9 were able to come back on the back of, I believe it was a bit of a force buy as well to edge them ahead finally. But no, TSM are definitely playing on point today.
Yeah, no, they've definitely had some decent moments. I think Sick definitely probably has the highlight plays of their team. But as said, Relics had some great moments as well. And going on to Dust 2, as said, it's one of those maps you definitely can have the sort of pinnacle plays, players step up. If you have the sort of solid aim, then everything can go wonderfully for you. The only problem is there's some sort of players that you want to look towards, like Shroud, in terms of just aim and his ability to hold the B site. He's always been very, very good at that. And I think that's going to be a bit of a problem. As said, Skadoodle we've already highlighted. And as said, it's not like you look towards this Cloud9 team and you go, okay, there's their weak player. Like, who would you say is the worst player on this team? I can't name it because I don't know.
Yeah, no, yeah, you sounded really hurt just then. But
well,
yeah,
it's genuinely, it's one of those positions. Every other team you go, do you know what? Yeah, no, he's not really, he's the more of the supportive player. But you look at this sort of team and it's like, maybe you go towards the sort of nothing side of things, but he's a player who can just explode onto maps in general and then top frag. You look at Stewie, he's taking that sort of in-game leader role and still being an explosive player across the board. Automatic, since he's joined the roster, has just been that addition that changed this team from, okay, maybe they could do something to, oh my god, these guys are actually pretty damn good. And then obviously you've still got the pinnacle players of Skadoodle as their AWPer and Shroud still pushing things forward. Either way, we are into the pistol round. I can stop with my theorizing of who is the worst player on this team and look to see what both of these teams could do in the pistol round.
Yeah, it's going to be nothing with some early short aggression to find out the positioning of TSM. And, well, TSM counteract that back by forcing him off of short. They do manage to grab control of mid as well in the process. Looking like they want to try and make some sort of play on towards B. It's going to be reinforced by the fact they have that smoke as well. They have the flashes, and then they also have Semphus up and towards upper tunnels. Looking like this split is going to be on the cards here. This should be an easily read situation there by Cloud9. Nothing does try to go for the peak. It's going to get taken out in the process, but still he comes in with the trade frag. Semphus as well with some fast USP action finds, I was going to say a second frag, but only the one. And now it's all on Scar and Stewie to come in for the retake in a 2 versus 3, which retaking B, you know, at a man deficit can be extremely difficult.
Yeah, we are looking towards Scar now to actually find another, and it is a 2 versus 2 in this situation. looking at the plant situation, and well, FNS will grab one, but it's a quick trade at the moment. The Glock picked up from Scar as he tries to go close. He does have the kit in hand, and well, the aggressive push from Semphus might give him the opportunity, and it will. That's going to be a nice clean up in the end. Scar will get the defuse, and again, it's going to be Cloud9 getting themselves the pistol, and welcome to the clutch.
That's become his new, I don't know, his new
it's
thing,
a meme.
isn't it?
It's his meme.
That's it. He made it himself, and what can I say? I love him for it. It's fantastic. Yeah, Cloud9, they pick up the pistol round, and that's going to bode well for them as we continue on into this. Once again, I hope we see the spray. I hope that's a thing that they just include now. Whenever
well, it's just on the wall now. It just stays on the wall. So that will be there for the next few rounds until he resprays it again.
Yeah, no, but I mean, yeah, there we go at the end. I love it. But yeah, it's going to be the first round on the board for Cloud9. They take the pistol, and well, now they have to try and convert an anti-eco, something that they've been famously fairly shaky at, or rather TSM have been good at counteracting. This time, though, TSM, they send two players aggressively up mid and on towards short. They get control of it relatively easily, but they're not ready for Stewie coming in from behind. He's going to be in a great position to wreak some havoc with the MP9.
Yeah, of course, in this round, we are seeing a little bit of a save. Oh, no. Stewie goes for the knife. Going to get the second as well. Nice amount of money made already by Stu. And while we look towards nothing now, he's got the majority of players pushing in his direction. Has some support, but both, in fact, are blind momentarily. Unfortunately, they have a third player coming in and make that a fourth, with Stewie trying to get more money already. But in fact, it will just be a quick cleanup in the end. Only really Skadoodle taking any damage at all. And while Stewie, he's already on $6,500 after 2 rounds. Going to be feeling pretty good about that one.
Yeah, man. Not only is he now the clutch king, but he's also the emerging sugar daddy of the side. He's got plenty of money on his person. He's going to buy up the AWP in the second round. And sorry, the third round. And now TSM, they're going to try and answer back. 5 rifles across the board. They do have the smoke as well, and well, a flash up on Desi, but that's really going to be it in terms of their utility. As a result, they're trying to go very, very fast and aggressive, use their momentum to their advantage. Scar's going to find one them out on a sick and puts it into a 4-on-5 very early on. The man advantage leading the way at Cloud9, and TSM unable to trade that one back.
Yeah, not the best start. They've lost Sick as well, which we've already spoken about being a pinnacle player for this side. Relic is looking to try and get something back. Doesn't catch nothing as he drops, and the nade will dunk onto his feet, pushing him out of position, but he still manages to at least take him with him. Still, we will see the man advantage and make that a second. The Skadoodle is going to grab another one towards long with the repeak, leaving just 2 players, FNS and Desi, to try and bring this round back.
Yeah, and well, sadly, FNS is going to be taken down. Now it's one Desi, 1 versus 4. Managed to turn it into a 1 versus 2 as he picks up the 2 frags in mid. He's still got many guys left to find, but he's not within the shot of being able to do this one. Sadly making his way up short. It's going to be Shroud quietly trying to get into this one. Does have the MP7, a little bit of utility as well. And Scar's still got that AWP. But I mean, you know, with Desi being on 9 HP, all it's going to take is 1 shot from the pistol anyway.
Yeah, the main aim would be to try and get a bomb plant, of course. The loss bonus isn't going to give them anything too crazy, 2,400 into the next, but you add an extra 800. Maybe they can at least get some decent level pistols on the board to get themselves ready for that buy going into the next. Of course, he is going to push around towards the site. The only problem is Shroud. Oh, he's actually spotting Scar, but he doesn't care. He just wants this bomb plant. That's exactly what he's going for, and he gets it as well. So nice work from Desi in the end, doing exactly what was needed. Now it's all about that clutch. Now Shroud jumping around with the MP7 should make this nigh on impossible, but he is going to get one, and that's going to be at least something dropped. 4 players overall lost for the Cloud9 side, but this was a little bit of a bonus, and at least the one gun that they do save is that AWP.
Yeah, but I mean, the frags picked up there by Desi, and that what 1 versus 4. He's going to turn it into a 1-on-1. Yeah, he's going to go down at the end, and he gets the bomb plant as well. So that's the best case scenario that TSM could have been hoping for. Cloud9, they are going to be picking up the round in the end. It's going to go 3-0. And while TSM, thanks to that plant, they're going to be able to force buy up into this one down to $2,000, and then look to buy in around number 5.
Yeah, so they'll get something to play with at least. So he has given them a little bit of an avenue. Of course, doing a lot of damage as well. You have to look towards these Ts and what they can actually achieve in this round. Now, quite common to see a short push come in when you don't have too much to play with, using the limited utility to almost just smoke and flash and try and catch out Skadoodle with that AWP. Now, that's a difficult thing to try and achieve, as this guy is pretty much renowned for this spot. He's very, very good. There's plenty of AWPers who will play this. You got Cajun, we got Smiths, and Scar is definitely another to add to that list. But let's see if he can actually do a little bit more. They will go for the waterfall and almost gets caught out, but quick on the flick to catch out Relic.
Yeah, automatic able to get the return frag there. Puts it back with the 1-man advantage being in favor of Cloud9. Meanwhile, in mid, FNS is going to get taken down. Semphus as well on the site. It's going to fall. It's all on Desi. Able to get 1 frag, but Scar through the box finds the headshot. that secures round number 4 on the board for Cloud9. And this is looking like quite a one-sided affair early on.
Yeah, the big thing for TSM, though, is they get another bomb plant and they take a couple of players with them. So they're not making this cheap for Cloud9. It's not like they're just running away with rounds like they were before, where we were just seeing sort of 5 players in a row. It's not anything too easy for them. And you look at their money, it's not anything ridiculous yet. In fact, only automatic with anything to really yell about. And you look at the buy that's coming back, and it's a pretty damn good one. Now, we mentioned Semphis. It is going to be that AWP battle. Now, both these guys are pretty passive with the way they play. We will see some aggressive peaks coming out from Skadoodle. And actually, in this round, is Stewie very aggressive towards that B site, finding not only the first kill, but also the bomb.
Yeah, you can already see Cloud9. They've rotated almost everyone over towards here. 3 players right now just trying to lock down this bomb. Desi's going to get smoked out. He's waiting and ready in T-spawn to try and collapse on into this. And, well, the actual angles they're coming from right now for the side of TSM bodes quite well for them. Stewie's able to find a second frag despite being on 19 HP. Isn't going to get traded out just yet, but they've got to watch out for Desi, who's, of course, in a very good position to come in through T-spawn. So the crossfire is going to be set up when it eventually comes down to the push, but the sad thing is they also have to worry about Shroud, who is ready and waiting in towards the upper tunnel entrance. Molotov's going to go out. It's going to hit Stewie. He's going to get tagged down low, but it doesn't find the frag, and he's going to be able to walk away. It's just survived that one to fight another day. Good flash. So doesn't find frag number 3, and at this point, he's just locking this one down for the side of Cloud9.
Yeah, the flashy plays from Stewie in the literal sense as well. He pops himself into that and gets his 3rd kill of the round. Big plays already from Cloud9, and we spoke about the potential of them sort of being reset. The weaker economy they have, well, already it's looking much, much better. Shroud still waiting over towards the B side, but there's 30 seconds for TSM to make their move. Now, they're closed in. Their best avenue for attack is to probably go towards Shroud, but that's a pretty difficult standpoint alone. He is known for this B site hold, and while you look towards the flank position as well, Stewie is still trying to get in behind them once again. Shroud already finding one, looking for the pre-fire, actually fake flashes out. Semphis is trying to do his best, actually hits the leg shot as well, but it's not enough. 5-0, the second AWP saved, and Cloud9 already getting themselves back towards a decent standpoint in economy as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's 5-0 right now, and TSM, they have to try and answer back. We can see them buying up into this round. We've got AKs across the board. I was going to say all the except for Desi, but I thought he was picking one up. Semphis does find one on the cross, but it's going to get returned by Stewie with an AWP of his own to put this back into a 4-on-4. TSM unable to capitalize on that early on, as they do still have to worry about Stewie in towards that B site. So Sick, instead of trying to go for an aggressive play, is going to be making his way through lower tunnels. He's going to rendezvous with the rest of his team in mid, potentially going for a mid to B or a short play.
Yeah, again, even stand in terms of players alive. Still plenty of utility, and the double AWPs currently in play. Now, nothing. You can't actually see anything at the moment. May know that there's some presence there. Has the Molotov ready in case there is a push to come in, and he is alone towards long. The rest of the players, well, you will see Scar actually rotating back around, but won't find anything just yet. There goes the Molotov, and it's actually going to bounce back. He panics a little bit as he goes for that peek and spots multiple players. Scar's going to be boosted back up onto the site, giving him a decent avenue to fight off any aggression from long. The problem is he has to be careful from shorts as well. He does have a little bit of support, but actually it seems to be rotating away. And, well, the second he peeks, he's going to spot out that there are a lot of players coming in this direction. Goes for the no-scope. Nice shot from Scar. Can't hit the second, but Shroud is there to help as they bring it back to a 3v2.
Yeah, that was an amazing shot to open that one up. It's a 2 versus 3 still, though, as TSM try making their way up in towards the site. Desi to watch the cross, does have the AWP in hand, and that smoke's going to allow them free reign on the crossroads here. Trying to get across. Desi just waiting on the other side of this smoke like a hunter in amidst the hunt. Is going to be able to spot out Shroud just through the smoke. Might be able to land a frag on it, but he's just going to be walking out the crosshair. They do, of course, know as well that nothing's there, chiming in with some shots of his own. Stewie making his way through long. Might be able to find one frag, takes down Desi. Now it's all on FNS. He's got 12 HP to dream. He does some damage, but it's going to get taken down. So sadly, it wasn't meant to be. And Cloud9, they pick up a 5th round on the board.
Yeah, nice rotation from Stu in the end. Takes back long with the AWP, and, well, a very strong start already from Cloud9 on the CT side. 6-0. The bomb plant will enable a buy to come back in for the T side. Don't know whether it will support an AWP. I love the no-scope. Fade away no-scope from Skadoodle. And there is Stewie to finish things off. So as you can see, it is going to be the AKs on the board. They've got a little bit of utility, only one Molotov in play, but they've got 5 smokes, and that means they can have somewhat of a setup. And, well, early on at least, we're going to see some aggression once more from Stewie.
Yeah, and it's going to bode well for him. It's going to allow him to open up onto Sick. Finds that first frag. It's going to go untraded as well. Scar up on towards short. Failing that one with the AWP a little bit. Goes in for the repeat. Finds the shot. And FNS is going to go down as well. Stewie lands some damage in through mid. He's going to be looking for another frag. Takes down Sempis. He's going huge right now. He's been the key player right now for Cloud9. Almost unstoppable. And now it's all on Relics and Desi. He's been turned around so quickly. Relics able to find one out on a Stewie. Desi as well, chiming in one on a Shroud. But Scar's there to return it. Puts it back into the advantage of Cloud9 quite clearly. It's going to be a 1-on-3 with the man advantage currently being with 2 men in favor of Cloud9.
They can't deal with these double orbs. They just can't deal with it. That's 4 kills at the moment already. We've still got a minute left on the clock, and it's been the orbs galore that are finding every single one of them. Desi, he has a chance to find Scar, so both orbs are currently on the floor, leaving just nothing, actually, the one close to the fight. He will be spotted out. If he can find this individual duel, Desi has a good opportunity to fight this, but the opportunity seems to have faded away. Nothing will spot him out once again as Automatic now pushes from short, and Desi, he's still looking for this one-on-one, and he shouldn't be able to get it. Automatic peeks out, and that's a really nice double peek from Cloud9. Make sure there's no way they're losing that.
Yeah, currently it's 7-0. I mean, Cloud9, it's been a flawless game so far. You cannot fault them. Haven't foregone a single round at just yet as we approach round number 8. It's looking like they can try and get a few more on the cards as well. The buy from TSM, well, I mean, you know, the buy from TSM isn't really going to be there, so it's less than ideal to say the least. And it should allow Cloud9 to hopefully try and take this to an 8-0 scoreline. That would be an amazing spectacle indeed. Nothing to open it up. Finds that first frag out on Relics. And now it's going to be the man advantage already leading the way, Cloud9. And look at what this has done to the push. It's completely dismantled. It slowed it down, and now there's only 3 players here to try and make their way out long.
Yeah, this is a big ask at the moment, of course. Out of all the last few rounds, we've seen rifles. This one, it is just pistols. Nothing is going to peak, and, well, we'll get one for his troubles, but a lot of damage currently being done. They have to be careful. Pushing onto Scar. Is he going to get it done with the pistol? It looks like he will. So, manages to clean things up for his team without too much extra cost. Of course, we now will see the buyback onto the T side. We'll actually go for... Well, they've got the AWP at least one. They're not going to go for a second, so not going for anything too crazy just yet. Semphus definitely hasn't been on the board in terms of firepower. And, well, really, the only man to really highlight was sort of Desi in that attempted clutch situation. He's the only one with anything above 3 frags.
Yeah, and I mean, Desi's been kind of the key for TSM, if you could say they even have a key right now. He's been looking incredibly strong, whereas his teammates have been a little bit absent there. And, I mean, you know, it looks like there's a few synergy issues as well. We see on a couple of these rounds, maybe they're not playing together as great as they could. But, I mean, Desi has been there in terms of the game. He's been hitting his shots, he's been finding the frags, and he's been a really driving force for the side of TSM. Meanwhile, though, TSM in this round trying to take control of mid once again, heading a few players up towards short, on the back of FNS. Semphus is going to be the one to open up a play over towards long as well. Sadly, going to be finding Shroud goes down. FNS finds that headshot, and that's going to be the man advantage swinging the way of TSM off the bat. And it's going to be the first time we've seen him with the man advantage in quite some time.
Yeah, no, a big opportunity for them to now open up this round. They've got themselves the man advantage. They can rotate away, take different avenues of attack, and it does look like it's going to be the A split. Nothing will have an awful lot to do, and of course Scar is going to be ready and waiting. Now the quick rotation can come out from Automatic from the CT position and get back in, but it's going to be a bit more difficult. There comes a peek from Scar to try and actually trade at least one of these frags back. Scar trying to bait out the shot. Nice work there to almost just jump peek Skadoodle, and this leaves Stewie in a 1 versus 4. Now, in terms of money, I don't think Cloud9 are going to be struggling anytime soon. They have had some rounds which have been a little bit closer, and you have to remember these sort of clutch positions from Desi and co have actually enabled them to do some damage in these rounds. And well, by the looks of things, Stewie, he's just not even going to bother, not even going to try and find an exit frag, and that's definitely understandable.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to see. He's been playing extremely well. To see him, you know, try and gain a little bit of leeway here, but it would have just been giving more money to the side of TSM, giving them an extra rifle as well, you know, to try and play around with. I mean, they don't need it, but, you know, it's just a few things. Also chips at the economy of Cloud9. It's, you know, it's looking all right. They've won, what, 8 rounds in a row, but the rounds have been fairly close lately, so the economy isn't going to be that strong.
Yeah, especially when you remember that they had to actually rebuy quite a few of the sort of AWPs as well. And the setup they are running, although very effective, it's very expensive. Double AWPs, 4,750 each time, and you can see the effect this had on their economy. As said, it's not going to be a problem to actually buy back up, but it's whether or not this round actually costs them too much more. Now, in terms of Skadoodle, we expect him to buy the AWP. That's not anything too crazy, and in fact, he will actually go on the drop as well. So, plenty of money spent in this round for the TT side. They do have utility across the board, although Skadoodle is one to suffer a little bit in terms of the amount he actually has in play. And this is a great chance for the T's to actually do a little bit more in terms of the CT economy.
Yeah, TSM currently trying to grab control of lower mid once again. They keep going for this kind of play at the beginning. They send 2 players in through lowers. They keep a guy up top mid to watch for any aggressive player in amongst double doors. And then they try to capitalize on the mid control they get. Whether that means going up short or finding a frag in CT, you know, it differs from round to round. But it does give them a very good foothold into this. Sadly, it hasn't been working because they haven't been able to find the frags to capitalize on. They get control of short, they get control of the mid kind of avenue. But then they don't get anything off of that. They don't get an opening frag. They can't split effectively out towards A because normally the long hold has been on point. So it has been a very tricky situation indeed. This round, a little bit different. You've got 3 players over towards short. Relics will be meeting up with them, deciding not to push out long. And the bomb, meanwhile, on Semfis over towards B tunnel. So it's looking like they might be trying some sort of fake here.
Yeah, they are holding that bomb over towards the B site, which is definitely something to idle at. Now, whether or not they are actually going to take that as their push is another thing altogether. Pushing down, they managed to go for the drop, and that's something that you can do. Go into CT and challenge against Shroud, and while Shroud is going to be dropped, but Automatic is there to support, managing to do the damage himself. It will be a couple of trades. Scar is actually in position as well, and Stewie on the site with his teammate ready to trade that one back. It's going to be just down to Semfis, and he's been isolated by the Molotov. Flash will come up, but not actually blind him. Gives him an opportunity here, but Stewie, well, almost just baiting out the shots, eventually peeks out, and it's one and done for TSM. The money, well, it's good enough for them to get a buy. It will be FNS struggling on just a pistol, but the rest of the team should be able to get an avenue to play with. The AWP, in fact, will even be dropped over to Semfis, so it's not the end of the world. And I wonder, do they actually have an extra rifle? I think that Desi is the one that's actually taken the hit here instead. I don't think they really saw that one coming. There we go. Eventually it'll be switched over, but never mind. Stewie's gone.
Yeah, Stewie is going to be falling in mid. Semfis finds him, and that's going to give them the early man advantage in favor of TSM. Once again, whenever we've seen them find the opening frag, they've normally had a good kind of success rate of being able to turn that into a round win. Well, kind of. I mean, they've got 1 win. It's hard to say. They haven't been playing that good, all right? But yeah, no, currently, TSM, they are going to be on the ropes a little bit, trying to come into this round in a big way. They find that first frag on Stewie, and as a result, the presence on B and the presence in mid are both going to suffer. He's kind of been playing interchangeably between the two. And you can already tell, I mean, they've had to rotate Shroud through CT. As a result, A's going to be weaker, so they've got 1 player on A, 1 guy in mid. And, well, with nothing going aggressive up long, this could actually bode very, very badly here for Cloud9.
I really like that from Relics. That's almost as if to say, yeah, I'm not buying that you just smoked it out. I'm not buying that you threw that smoke and you're on the other side of it. So he just throws a nade in almost to say, yeah, nothing. I know you're still there, and I'm not going to peek you. So called the bluff. Plays it smart, and well, they're going straight towards B. Automatic is going to be the only one to try and hold this off. AWP peeks back in, but he's got to try and fade away here, otherwise Desi is going to be there to punish. Shroud, Molotov down, is ready to try and hold the angle, can see through the flames. He's got to try and find something back. Scar spamming shots away, but not finding anything just yet. And more in terms of utility, the CTs have nada. They have nothing to play with. All they have, well, now 1 flashbang onto Shroud. It's not going to be the avenue to get them back into this. They're playing for the exits. They're waiting outside to try and do more and more damage to the TSM side.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good call to make. They have more than enough rounds to kind of play around with. They have a nice buffer built up. And I mean, retaking that B site is hard enough when you have equal numbers going into it with no utility and being at a man disadvantage. It would have just been a slaughter for Cloud9. TSM had so much time to get into the after plant. So as a result, it is going to be a round going the way of TSM. It's going to go 2-9. And well, nothing. Looking to wreak some havoc in towards the T-spawn area. Is doing some damage. Able to find 1, but that's going to be it. Desi's there to trade things out. Scar and Shroud, they both save the M4 and the AWP, respectively. And they're going to be able to take that into round number 12.
Yeah, the thing is, though, you speak about that third rifle, and you think about that in terms of whether they're able to buy into this one. And that could actually be the difference. Now, it looks like they are just going to straight go for this one and invest full-fledged into it, which could give an opportunity actually for TSM to get back to 6. Of course, they have to take this round, and Stewie, well, he may have the 5-7. He's also only got 8 HP as he gets tagged very early on down to his last legs.
Yeah, no, I mean, TSM, they're looking to try and capitalize on this by sending everyone out towards long. I mean, they've got the long-range weapons. It's only Scar really with something that could try and remedy this. We have also got the 5-7 up on Stewie, but I mean, you know, aside from that, I mean, there's a few rifles on Cloud9. The FAMAS is kind of less than ideal. You've got the 2 M4s, which can do some harm. But I mean, you know, finding that opening damage on the Stewie through mid, and then deciding to start to make your way out long is a fairly good read on it, because you know that Cloud9 are going to be struggling a little bit economically. And that's kind of fairly evident here. As well as that, they're not going to have the pressure on mid in the form of Stewie, because he got tagged on the cross. So as a result, they are going to be slowly making their way up long to try and capitalize on the fact that, you know, the B guys are going to have to be having to be playing a lot more aggressive. A lot more passive. How do you get those words confused? F&S, they're going to be able to find one on the Shroud. The trade frag comes in. Just going to gloss over that. Scar's able to find one off the back of the AWP. Relax is there to take down Automatic. Puts it back in a 3-on-3. And Semphis, while he comes up, the better AWP takes down Scar in the one-on-one engagement there. It's nothing. And Stewie to try and retake this site.
Yeah, they've risked it all in this round. They've spent an awful lot of money. Nothing is going to go jumping through, really trying to take this one, and actually gets away with just a flashbang to the face, a little bit more, and nothing grabs the bomb. This is getting a little bit scary. Semphis has to try and take this one-on-one. He is going to go for the shot. Spots out the head, but misses. Nothing with an opportunity, and nothing will do it. Jumps back in, gets a triple kill. And Cloud9 around, they probably shouldn't have won. They managed to do it. They managed to pull it off, and all off the back of a bit of a nut job play, it has to be said, from nothing. Jumps straight out, completely blind, but he manages to make it work.
Yeah, no, I mean, an insane play to keep Cloud9 in a very strong lead as well. On the back of a bye that was less than ideal, let's not forget. So now it's going to be 2-10, and TSM looking to try and repeat the success of their previous long pushes. I mean, there hasn't really been much. Once again, TSM haven't really brought much to the table. But regardless, it's 2-10 currently, and they send 4 players aggressively out long. F&S, meanwhile, playing the lurk roll in towards the lower tunnels, watching for any early aggression from Cloud9. The sad thing is, there is early aggression from Cloud9 in the form of Nothing and Shroud, but they've both made their way up mid and are now set up outside of long. So TSM, they are effectively trapped.
Yeah, the only player not within that circle is the man who's supposed to be sort of stopping them off. So really, this could end up so much worse. The smoke will be thrown out by Automatic. That isn't a miss smoke by the T's. If it was, I would almost be sick by seeing that. There is a little bit of a gap in their smoke, and that's going to give Automatic a chance to run all the way through. It doesn't matter. He only gets one, and that was already a low player. In the meantime, Stewie will be taken down from behind, but they didn't expect a second. Shroud going to be challenging, and, well, Nothing coming out as well, meaning that there's still an opportunity. How many players can come from long? That's the real question, and at the moment, this is the last. A lot of damage being done onto Nothing, not managing to capitalize on anything. And while it looks like the long aggression this time has come down, Nothing, he's going to need another triple kill. But this time, he doesn't have a lot of HP. He doesn't have a lot to play with. And in fact, he's not even going to bother.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I blame him. The bomb's been ticking down for quite some time. He does have a kit. He has a little bit of utility as well. But ultimately, it's not going to be enough. I mean, he's only got 22 HP. He's up against 3 people who, you know, between them have 182 HP. And the economy, most importantly, as we can see right now on Cloud9, is going to be dwindling. And, well, you want to try and hold on to as much as you can.
Yeah, they want to see what they can do in the next round. Of course, it is a good avenue, at least, for TSM to get a couple more on the board. We have seen crazier comebacks in the past, and the CT side, if you can get yourself rolling, definitely can be one of those positions you can bring it back. Of course, it's a relatively even map, so 10 rounds for Cloud9 is actually a very, very good start. But going into this round, at least, it's not going to be a very good one. They've got Nothing with the AK. Then they've dropped over a couple of weapons. They are going for broken this round. And, well, literally broken. Well, never mind. Shroud is still going to peek out and find Sick with the scout down mid. And through the door as well, just for lulz, really.
Yeah, no, an impressive spectacle indeed. Stewie trying to replicate this success with the scout on the B site. Trying to play this one behind the boxes. Going to get tagged down a little bit on the push. It's going to be flashed as well. Tries to get a kill on the back of it, but isn't able to find much. Currently, though, is still alive and just delaying the push long enough for his team to rotate on through. Desi able to finally pick him up. It's going to be 4-on-4, but Cloud9, they've had plenty of time bought for them by Stewie, and as a result, they're all here ready and waiting to make their way into the B site.
They've done a little bit of damage. Of course, they do have to sort of question whether they want to go for it now or keep these weapons into the next. Now, they don't have too much to play with other than Nothing with that AK, but it does look like that's the decision they're making. It's either go for it now, try and challenge, they lose everything, they come back with an almost identical buy in the next, or they save what they have, they can bring the AK into the next round, they can possibly get another one. In fact, Skadoodle's managed to pick that up, and yeah, they'll definitely have a better buy trying to fight for the 11-4 rather than risking it all at 10 and then maybe not being able to get a buy in the next.
Yeah, I mean, at least the one good thing to come out. Oh, Shroud just putting the hurt on them. It's going to be doing a lot of damage here. And this is very bad for TSM. They all get taken down, and that is what exit fragging is all about. That's it. I mean, that is economic damage right there. Look at TSM's buy.
Okay. I think they'll be okay in terms of the buy. They'll be able to drop an AWP. That's a nice little shot. Of course, Sick running down Suicide. It has that name for a reason, Sick. It does have that name for a reason, and Shroud is going to... Well, it's not suicide, I suppose, if you get shot in the face, but it's still not really the best way to die. doesn't actually pay too much, but it's those late rounds that has cost him a little bit in terms of utility. But it doesn't matter for Desi. He's going to go pushing aggressively onto the B side. In fact, taking it on his own. The flashes from Automatic. He shut down the mid push. Now he's got to try and shut down the B push. Drops the bomb, finds one, looking for the second. Desi again there to trade. Shroud will come through and take down Desi, but Relics has found another. This is leaving it into the 2 versus 2. AWP and Rifle on both players, but the HP definitely benefiting the CT side.
Yep, Scar's already here. Nothing is well rotating on in. Finally going to make it. Their bomb still isn't down either for the side of TSM. And well, Scar's in a very good place to try and find a frag early on. It's actually going to be nothing there to step up. Does get that one through the smoke. Takes down Relics, and then Scar's getting aggressive as well. Lands that. I believe it was a no-scope. And it's going to be 4-11.
I hope
I hope it was too. Cloud9 currently 7 rounds ahead. And most importantly, if they win the pistol, they should be able to take this to a 14-4 scoreline if they convert the next 2 rounds as well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If they win the pistol, this should be done. It shouldn't really be any sort of change from that point onwards. It would have to be a big push from TSM to bring this one back. Of course, if they win the pistol, they're only really, if they convert, only 4 rounds behind. And that's not something to really shudder at. Of course, they could have done much better. They really didn't step up for the first few rounds. And, well, Relics, he's tapping away, manages one. Hopefully going to get a little bit more. Desi actually comes in and manages to do just that. And, well, he's really shut this down, leaving it just to Skadoodle, completely surrounded, and Semphus will finish this off. So TSM, they have got that marker. It's looked like maybe we can get a little bit of a closer round or closer game, because it seems like Cloud9, other than that, have had it in the bag. Either way, waiting to see what will actually be invested. Now, they have been pretty light on a lot of their buys prior to now, but this round, no, they're sort of going for it.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're going to be trying to invest in what they can. And, well, Scar looking to open things up out towards long. Doesn't manage to find anything, but he's going to get Molotoved out. And as a result, it's looking like he's going to try working his way in towards mid instead. Currently looking to rendezvous with the rest of his team there as well as they make their way through lower tunnels, doing a little bit of a tour of the map. Smoke's going to go down and cover the guys up on short. It's going to allow him to get across. Desi going to be able to find it first, though. Onto Shroud. Scar isn't there to trade things out either. And while Semphus looks to go aggressive, fake flashes and actually managed to grab himself a P2. I think that was actually the goal of that. That was me just being dumb. But yeah, it's going to be at 5-11, like we say. The one-man advantage leaning the way of TSM and a very, very good anti-eco round here, with Cloud9 being relegated into the mid area.
Yeah, of course. Looking towards Cloud9 now as they go aggressively pushing. They don't have any smokes to hold the cross, and that's going to leave them with a bit of trouble already. Six picking up 2, looking for his third. Nothing has managed to grab 1 kill, and what, Scar may be able to do a little bit of extra damage at least. Desi, standing behind that box and ever closer to death. He'll spam towards FNS, and while the long-range UMP will be there to finish things off. The rifle retrieved, and not too much of a problem for TSM. Of course, this round at least, we know Scar's not going to invest too much into this one. He wants to save for the AWP, and the rest of the team, they can't buy down too low, as they don't really have too much cash to spare.
Yeah, I mean, they got a bit of a makeshift sugar daddy in the form of Desi, but that's going to be, I mean, he's only got 3 grand to his name. He can buy up next round, which is a little bit comforting, but that's really going to be it. On the side of Cloud9, it's just a flat eco round, upgrading a couple of the pistols as you would expect. Relic's got aggressive up towards top mid, though. Able to find one, finds this second as well. It's going to get shut down by Automatic, and well, now it's on Semphus to try and come on through. Does find one frag in towards well. It's going to be shot in the back, though, and taken down. And in towards mid, actually, Cloud9 doing really good damage on what was a full eco round. Now there's only 2 members of TSM left. Both going to be peeking out onto Automatic at the same time, you would presume. The crossfire is set up brilliantly, but he still could do more damage.
Yeah, this time Sick will be there to finish, and they are going to retrieve one of the rifles, but they still lost one at least. And as you said, quite a bit of damage considering that was just straight pistols. Now, in terms of the buy, no surprise if we see an AWP onto Skadoodle and the rest of the team just going for their sort of AK nade buy. Stewie will in fact drop down to a Galil to basically secure the fact that he can get some nades in play. And while on the other side of things, Semphus, he's going to have his AWP and the rest of the team on that utility hype.
Yeah, plenty of utility right now. And well, Cloud9, I mean, they're going to be able to execute fairly valiantly with that much in their pockets. On the side of TSM, Sick is really the guy kind of bringing it home in the utility standpoint. He's got pretty much everything there is to bear. Desi as well going to be looking fairly strong. Other than that, the team's kind of looking a little bit bare. But it should be enough to try and hold back some sort of push. Sick in this very good position in mid, looking to try and start things off with a bit of an advantage. Meanwhile, Cloud9 looking curious over towards what Long might potentially hold in store.
Yeah, the bomb's actually been dropped all the way over towards B, so They will have to go and retrieve that at some point, but they've got plenty of time to play with, still a minute left. Basically hoping for any sort of aggression or information plays to come out from the CT side, but TSM, they're not budging just yet. They're going to wait this one out, hope that they can hold on to the push at the time. Now, in terms of rotations, they have pushed themselves back towards A with the position of Sick, but a lot of this is looking like a bit of a bait and switch. They're going to throw out the nades, rush out middle, and Stewie's going to be leading the charge as they make their way towards this B stand. Now Relix, he hasn't really spotted anything out, and because of that, Semphis is not going to be aware of the push. Automatic grabs another, and this has been a complete shutdown. Yes, they hold off the lurk of nothing, but other than that, they've achieved nothing.
Yeah, TSM, there's only 3 players left, and while Cloud9, they have the man advantage, they also have the bomb down, and with TSM being so far away, they are going to have to save this one. It's going to go 7-12 as Cloud9, they take another round on the board. Actually, their first round in the second half. So potentially it's going to be a bit of a turning point here as they look to try and string some more rounds together.
It's a bit scary as well for TSM because all they've really done is win the pistol and a couple of follow-up rounds. They haven't got anything else as of yet. The first buy that comes on the board, it comes out with a nice little fake, and the aggressive push from middle isn't really spotted. I'm not sure what happened there. Almost Relics just saying, okay, nope, nobody's crossed, and Semphis goes down, and that's when it all sort of clicks in their minds that something has gone terribly wrong. Either way, 4 players surviving for the T's, but 3 on the CT as well, so they should have a buy coming back in on this round. Of course, not too much money to play with, but of course you mentioned Desi as the sugar daddy. He's got himself 7,100 in hand to share the love a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't like the way your voice just went when you said share the love a little bit. I felt like you were in my ear. Well, it was an ASMR video, but it's going to be 7-12 currently in Cloud9. They've got a 5-round advantage over their opponents, and they're looking to try and maintain that here. The buyout from TSM isn't going to be ideal. Once again, a little bit lackluster in terms of the utility, and you also have the Famas up on Relics, which is always something to bear in mind. On the side of Cloud9, plenty of utility to try and play around with, and a double AWP setup as Stewie and Scar both decide to adopt it as their weird love child.
Yeah, weird love child indeed. Now the T side, they are going to go for this mid-aggression early on. Of course, they have only won 1 round, so we can't jump too much on their train just yet. If they had to lose this one, they'll be taking a bit of a hit in terms of economy as well. We will actually see the double AWP setup for the T side, which, well, we know how elaborate Stewie can be with this AWP, going for those crazy pushes. And what Shroud is going to try and force back the position of Semphis. Actually leaves him a little bit blind and gives over that short position ready and waiting. Stewie actually going out mid at the moment. Doesn't really have any support in terms of utility. Nothing is behind, and he will throw out that smoke to try and take the peak, but it's FNS to start things off. First frag going the way of the CT side. Smoke thrown out will even allow him to fade away, and that gives that man advantage. Plus, only 40 seconds left for Cloud9 to execute.
Yep, they're being left with very little time, leaving it down to the wire. They're going to be trying to make their way out towards A. Smoke's going to allow them to get across. Hopefully would be nice to see some sort of run boost here, but I mean, you know, you don't normally see that too much. We've seen it a little bit occasionally with the likes of Godsend kind of employing it every now and again. But Cloud9 slowly but surely making their way out in the form of Automatic and Shroud both going to be the players to try and start things off. FNS is going to be taken down. Now it's towards Semphis in towards ramp. Is able to find one, but Cloud9's there to, Shroud is there to trade things out. And going to find the second on the Relics as well in the form of Nothing over towards mid. Now it's all on Sick, 1 versus 3. He's got a lot of frags to find and, well, not a lot of time to do it in.
Yeah, Nothing's going to be holding up close. Will he expect Sick to be this close? No, he will not. So that is going to be a trade, at least AWP into the hands of Sick. And now it's pretty much a safe scenario. I don't expect him to see him going for this. He does have a kit, but no utility. Didn't really have too much of a chance pushing back in versus 2 players. So he is going to give Semphis at least an avenue to play with going into the next round. Of course, in terms of money, yeah, this is where things really become problematic because that's only 2 lost rounds in a row. That means they'll get 1,900 into this round, and you add that on. Yes, Sick, maybe he can drop an M4, and you might be able to see a FAMAS or something of the sort in the hands of Desi. But other than that, the buy is not going to be anything too crazy, and it's sort of one of those positions where you go, okay, are we fighting this now, or are we waiting around and trying to fight it back in the next?
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue. I mean, like you say, the buy isn't going to be that strong up into this round if they do decide to buy at all. And well, it's looking like TSM now to be going for the force. Now, this leaves them in a very vulnerable scenario because if Cloud9 take this round, it's going to go 7-14, and they'll have to force buy again. And at which point, you know, it'll be for the match point round. So currently heading on to this one, Desi's going to be the first to fall out towards long. Shroud's going to be able to find the head, and well, FNS looking to try and fall on back onto the site. Everyone rotating in from the side of TSM. They're just loading all their eggs into one basket. Don't want to try and take the chance of, you know, not doing this with this weaker buy. It's going to be Semphis there to find the return. Takes down Shroud, better late than never. Puts it back into a 4-on-4. And well, now, FNS going to go aggressive out long.
But there goes that all-viable AWP, FNS. He's been very good so far. Automatic will fall to his death, and somehow this has actually seemingly worked out. It's down to just Stewie. 1 versus 2. TSM looking to try and stay in the game, and Stewie trying to push them back out of it. Of course, there's plenty of weapons to be found across the board. They've got themselves AKs in hand and a little bit of utility to play with. Of course, Stewie, he has a whole minute to play with, so he doesn't have to go for anything rash. He's only got 37 HP, so he can't really afford to go for anything rash. But at the same time, in this position, Stewie 2K, I can still see him coming out of it alive.
Yeah, no, definitely, Simon. You can never write off Stewie. He's been such a key player throughout this whole performance, and well, with 40 seconds left, he's got plenty of time to try and make something happen here. He has got 2 players left to find, but he's got a little bit of utility in the form of the Incendiary and the Flash. I mean, when you look at the positioning of TSM right now, both of their guys are in towards lower tunnels. They're playing this together. They're playing for the retake. And, well, just as you say, that Sick actually splits up from Relics just because he hates me.
Yeah.
And, well, now it's on Stewie slightly making his way up on towards the site. The only issue is he has no information as to where either of these TSM players are, right? So he doesn't know that right now Sick is pushed all the way up mid and is now making his way through long.
Yeah, of course, the second this bomb goes down, they are going to pounce. They'll know exactly where this is. I am sort of hoping the Sick will wait, but never mind, he doesn't need to wait. He doesn't need to play it safe, as he will rip Stewie's head clean off and go for that defuse. Now, of course, bomb plant is always going to be nice, a little bit of a bonus for Cloud9, and, well, TSM, they're looking to go and save at least one of the AWPs.
Yeah,
So
no,
it doesn't actually look like they're going to find one.
Yeah, no, they do seem to be struggling. It's one of them by short, though. I think there we go. 6 able to get it in time. And as a result, it's going to go another round on the board for TSM. And, you know, 1 step closer to kind of equalizing out the scoreline potentially. 8-13 currently, 5 rounds between them. And Cloud9, they're going to be able to buy up somewhat into this round. Thankfully, Sky is a bit of a sugar daddy. Can't afford to drop here and there for his teammates. Has still got 5 grand left. Spends $7,000 into this round. And as a result, drops for 2 other people on the team.
Yeah, it does mean he's not actually going to be able to get an AWP, so they are limited in that factor. At least Semphis will have the only one on the board at the moment. Of course, Cloud9, a big chance to reset, but also be reset. It's another one of those pinnacle rounds. There seems to be quite a few in this series at least. Semphis holding a fairly aggressive angle at the moment, an angle that can get isolated, and, well, luckily for him, he will get away without any sort of timing that could have been detrimental to his life. In terms of the luck play, we do have nothing currently pushing around the sort of lower tunnels position, basically waiting to see if they can lose a sight. And while was that the AWP going down? Yes, it was. Stewie wins the duel over towards the AWP. He's in pit and manages to take down Semphis long range.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you, the marksmanship behind Stewie. Just the sheer aiming prowess. He marked nothing in towards mid, finds one at FNS. It's going to be a 2-man advantage now in favor of Cloud9. TSM currently very out of position. Everyone just kind of in this mid area, very unsure about where Cloud9 are going to be heading off to. Relics can hear one on towards B, but as the bomb goes down, Sick should be calling it to the rest of his teammates. It's going to be over towards A. You got Desi coming in from long. Relics trying to peek through mid. And Sick making his way up short. So a nice 3-pronged attack. But I mean, with time being an issue, and them, not having the best utility, it's looking like they are just going to save.
Well, the big problem even with saving is the fact that nothing is just being a pain. Like that's all he really had to do in this round, was just be a thorn in their side. Just sort of say to them, okay, yeah, you can go and try and retake the side, but no matter what you do, you know I'm coming up behind you. And I think that may have been the hesitation that actually made them go for the save overall towards the end. Now, he's even managed to catch out one. I feel like Relics taking a challenge here isn't really going to be too prolific for him going into the next round. I don't think it'll really help him. And of course, I talk about the fact that Scar didn't have an AWP in the last round. He gets one for free going into this one. So, well, CT side, they've got the 2 rifles. They are going to be forcing back up. They don't want to allow this to go to 15, but Cloud9, they're getting ever closer to crunch time.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking very good for them right now. The buy from TSM as well as that side there. You've got the scout up on Semphis, something that he has been alright with in the past. Relics with the AK in towards long does find one out on a Stewie. It's going to be an early advantage leading the way at TSM, and it slows down the push. The momentum on Cloud9 is going to be destroyed off the back of that. Nothing. Trying to throw one of the AKs out the map so they can't grab a hold of it. Nice play.
Decision,
yeah, and well, now he's going to be looking to try and get the hell out of long doors. Doesn't want to be there much longer as Relics is continuing this aggression to try and find more frags.
Yeah, I think a lot of that, like the smoke that was actually thrown by Relics as well, was in order to try and retrieve some sort of weaponry, but it's not the case. Scar going for a slow push into the site. He's actually going to catch the first. There is still a second player. Now, the pistol up close could be quite valuable. Automatic needs to check, and he doesn't check it properly. Still manages to get away with it, though. A little bit lucky to save his life in that sort of scenario. Now, you look at the remaining players. well, we've seen them save many a time. I think this may be the time where they actually have to go for this. The bomb yet to go down. Shroud is going to be taken out as well, so this is actually getting pretty close. You have to remember, automatic is low. You can say the same for Sick and Relics, however. And while they've got to push into this AWP of Scar, giving him individual peaks isn't going to help out. Already gets himself one, make it a second. They're not going to expect the third player to come in from behind. And actually, Sick has got 2 headshots. Now it's down to the 5 HP brothers. Both of them low on HP, trying to fight this one back. And Sick's going to do it all. He finds the triple kill, grabs the AWP, and TSM, they're going to survive for one more round.
Yeah, it's going to go 9-14, and that was insane there. 5 HP at a dream. He comes up huge. The bomb plant, though, is going to allow Cloud9 to get a comfortable buy-up into this next round regardless. But still, Sick. That was the linchpin in that round. Potentially could be the turning point as well. TSM, if they can take a little bit more momentum, a little bit more motivation from what Sick just did there, now is the time to start showing it.
What a way to sort of explode onto the map as well for him. It hasn't been the best game for him, for sure. But to just come out there and just walk into the site and basically go, no, I'm not giving up. I got 3 players to find. I'm going to find all 3 and make it almost look easy. That's how it's done. And, well, now they get themselves the money back on the board. Of course, the T's are coming straight back at them, and it's looking like a quick B split once again. The bomb a little bit behind, but Relics, he's got a lot to do, and it doesn't look like he's going to do anything. A little bit of delay. He does manage to find a frag, in fact, and, well, Sick again. He sprays down 2. There's the shutdown once more, and why not finish it off as well with the 1 dig?
Yeah, I mean, what a way for TSM to come back into this that much more. They take a 10th round on the board, and Cloud9, now they're going to be on the back foot, struggling to get a buy-up into this one. They're only 1 round away from match point, you have to remember. And, I mean, if there was ever a time to start kind of crumbling under the pressure, it would be now. I mean, it's a terrible state of affair, but it's something that we've seen a couple of times. And Cloud9, they are looking a little bit vulnerable. TSM should be able to take this to an 11-14 scoreline. And then there's only 3 rounds of difference between them and Cloud9.
Yeah, and, well, just Sick has just exploded out of the last couple of rounds. Desi is going to be looking to try and find himself the opening. Of course, it is just pistols into this round, so not anything too crazy to really come into play at the moment for the T's. They are saving to come into the next round with a buy on the board. Of course, you look towards the position currently being held by FNS, and this is just one that's so valuable if they're able to cross past Semphis, because once they get towards the site, you're almost expecting them to get a bomb plant. And just that goose position, it's almost basically the sort of, hello, and just shut them down. Yeah, no, it is an ideal position in something like this, especially when you have the aim like FNS. Going to be able to find 2 frags, looking for a third, able to get it as well. Automatic is going to be going down now. It's all or nothing, but he can get in the bomb plant at least. Sick's going to go for the jump shot, and he gets it. Even with the new update, it's still possible to land them. And, well, it's going to go 11-14, and Sick is just performing out of his mind right now. Yeah, he's literally, it's almost if they got to a point where they go, okay, we probably lost this now, and Sick just goes, nah, I don't agree. I disagree, guys. And it gets a 3K, gets, I think, a 4K in the next round, and now gets a 2, finishing off with a jumping AWP. He's just come into the map, leaps and bounds in the last few moments, and, well, this is exactly when you need him. Even going to pick up the AWP towards the B site for now. He's going to throw out a Molotov just to slow any aggressive pushes at the moment. Now, in terms of the T's, they're very split out towards the map. They're just taking passive rolls and waiting to see if they can find a pick. Yeah, and Desi looking like he wants to try and give them that on a silver platter, pushing up over here towards long with FNS, trying to change things up, go for some aggression. They put down the smoke, though, and now opt to fall back, and that's smart, because it's going to slow Cloud9 down. They don't know if someone's going to be up in towards long doors, and as a result, they don't want to be trying to send anyone through that just yet. So it's going to just slow down the overall play. And well, now you can see Cloud9. They've still got 3 players up towards top mid with the bomb and nothing, trying to make their way through lower tunnels, trying to spot out a frag early on. Yeah, again, another round that could completely change the way this map goes. Of course, momentum seems to be at the moment with TSM. Look at the position of nothing. He's ready and waiting, but will he expect the AWP? No, he won't. Sick is going to find the first frag of the round. An important one of that. Now, Desi, up close and personal, it's almost as if Semphis is a little bit of a bait here to try and just throw down the nades, almost be caught out. Will he expect the second person? No, they will not. He's going to get in behind. This is absolutely perfect. He may just be a little bit too late, though, if Skadoodle comes back through the smoke. It seems like Skadoodle's a little bit late, in fact. Timing not quite there, and actually Desi loses the fight. That's a bit of a problem. Luckily, Relics has traded one back, leaving it into the 2 versus 2. And, of course, the man with him is Sick. Yeah, you know, he's quite literally Sick. He's been playing insane currently. He's got the AWP in hand. They're both heading in through long, and this is going to be a very good angle to try and retake with the AWP. Stewie on site, and Scott backing him up
from short. They're not going to be in a very good crossfire to try and deal with this, but Scar's going to find the shot regardless. Now it's all on Sick, 1 versus 2. He's got to try and find both players, and well, Scar's going to fall. Now it's all on Stewie, 1 versus 1. He knows where he is, and Sick gets it as well. Oh, Sick, what are you doing? That is insane. It's going to be another round on the board for TSM, and this man is just a machine. I don't know what he's doing, but he is drilling it home right now for TSM. Only 2 rounds the difference between them and Cloud9, and it is almost entirely thanks to this man.
Yeah, this is why he's one of those sort of hot prospects. This is why he's one of those people that everybody hypes up as being an absolutely ridiculous player. I think that may be 4 rounds in a row where he has played the big role in this team, and they needed it. They really needed it. This is right at the sort of end of the game. We're coming close to the twilight rounds, and, well, Cloud9, they're not done yet. Of course, they're still in the lead. They have themselves the utility to play with. Only pistols behind it. But they're still going to try and at least do some damage in this round, take down some players, and maybe end the reign of Sick.
He's going to be playing in towards mid. Does find the first out onto Stewie, and well, that's going to completely shut down the push. All the momentum's gone. Cloud9, they fall on back. They don't want to risk going for it. They know that the man, nay, the legend, is playing in mid with that AWP in hand. They don't want to go challenging it. They've only got the pistols. They get tagged down low anyway. And now they've been relegated in towards the tunnels, and well, they can't really get anything off the back of that.
Yeah, of course. They're looking to try and find an avenue back into this one. Of course, nothing very low on HP, and he has the majority of the utility that's currently in their hands. They are going to move back towards middle after being punished in the last. They are going to smoke off both sides, which does give them a little bit of an avenue, and it seems like somewhat of a fake. Of course, FNS back in this goose spot. You can see the peak from the AWP currently coming out on Semphus, and well, it is going to be this hit over towards the site. The only problem is, well, they should check. They really should check Goose, because it's already been used once. It's a position that FNS has already played in once, but he's still going to be sat there, and well, now they're going to come pushing on towards him. It will be tracked by Shout, and eventually the Molotov comes in, but already they've got to try and take him out of this round, and he's just doing the damage. Eventually, he will fall, even shooting at his teammate a little bit. Desi, he wants to stop this bomb plant, and he will do just that. So exactly enough needed in the end. Both AWPs are going to be kept into the next round, and well, it's coming right down to the wire once again. 14-13.
Yeah, it is incredibly close, even closer than the previous map. And that one, I thought it was going to be as close as it gets. But I mean, they're showing us right now, TSM, they can go the distance. And I mean, Sick, he's become some sort of monster with the AWP.
Whatever he has, I don't know what's happened. He wasn't really on the map just moments ago. In the sort of last 5 rounds, it's like a different player has emerged from the mist to sort of saying, no, do you know what, guys? We're not done quite yet. And I'm very thankful he has. It's been brilliant to watch as viewership. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. But it's not done just yet. The T side, they want to take this one over the line. Of course, Cloud9, we talk about them being right near the top of the board. They're currently, I think, 4-1 now after the win they got just earlier. But now they want to get it to that 5. They don't want to give TSM that sort of even split on the points. And it would be a great set of points for TSM to get, considering what they have. They don't even have their full team at the moment. Desi standing in. He's done a great job, it has to be said, but we are still looking at Sick. 3 players currently over towards this B site. They could have the perfect read on the positions that are about to be taken. You do have the push from Stewie. He will be the solo man coming through mid, and in terms of the remaining players on the rotations, they are very far away. So this crossfire on B, it has to do the work. 45 seconds. The push is going to be set up, and it's ready and raring to go.
Yeah, everyone on the side of Cloud9 dedicated into heading in towards this B site, with the exception of Stewie. He's going to be playing in towards mid. Relics pushes up through the smoke. He's going to get spotted out just yet. Sick finds one with the AWP, and I don't think they're ready for Relics to be in that position. He's going to get taken down by Automatic, but it's still a one-man advantage going the way of TSM. They're trying to make their way on through. Automatic's able to find one. Puts it back into a 3-on-3. And well, Bomb's going to be going down any second now. The site is going to be foregone, but Desi and Semphus both have plenty of time to rotate through, and that spray through the smoke from FNS is just going to be a little bit more of a nail in that coffin.
We have to look towards Scar. He needs to hit the shot, and he does. He ends Desi. That really limits the way that their rotation can actually come in from Semphus. He's going to be peeking in with the AWP, but it's really down to FNS to have a big round. Now, there's no Sick to bail them out. He isn't here this time, and we're looking at this man. Same position, same chance, but Skadoodle's there to finish him off. Now we look towards another. Semphus, he peeks in, grabs one. Nothing is all that's left, but misses the shot. Nothing will get them on to the next round. They get towards that 15th. And now, match point. And well, the buy, let's look at it. Sick, the one with a lot of money in the bank, will be able to drop something over to his teammates. It does mean that the buy isn't too shabby. but it's not going to be the buy that they wanted going into this last round.
Yeah, no, the second that one went down with the sickness, everything went downhill from then on in. It's going to be Skylar to find one early on, takes down Semphis in mid. Well, now it's going to be the one-man advantage going the way of Cloud9. They're looking to try and capitalize on that by going very aggressive here out and towards this A site. Unbridled aggression, unlike anything that we've seen from them so far. Desi, they only want to try and watch out for it. Relics as well coming up through CT. It's going to be an angle to try and prevent this play. Finds one with the AWP, puts it back into a 4-on-4, but Bomb's going to go down anyway. The rotator's already here. TSM fully committed to this retake. They are being held back right now by the utility on Cloud9.
It is a quick couple of trades. Automatic finding another, and Stewie looking to end this one. It's down to FNS in the clutch. Hasn't really had too much to say of just yet. Is going to go for the spam, but doesn't quite manage to finish off one. And there's Scar to end the game. 16-13. Cloud9 finally get their streak. The reign of sick will end. And it's going to be Cloud9 picking up all of the points today. 6 added. That means that they are continuing with only 1 loss currently on their board. So great work from them overall. But what a fight put in from TSM. Hugely impressed. A stand-in in play. And they still managed to do exactly what was needed of them. Well, not exactly. They wanted to win, but they showed that they definitely put up a brilliant fight overall.
Yeah, no, that was honestly incredible from either side. TSM so close to getting back in there at the end, and I almost feel bad for them.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Sick, definitely.
Oh, for sure, no doubt.
It was literally Sick versus Cloud9 towards the end of that. That's what it felt like, and well, sadly they just couldn't do it. So that one is going to go the way of Cloud9, and they take it in a 2-0 fashion. So we're going to be taking a very, very quick break, and then we'll be right back.
I'm a streamer on Twitch, full-time streamer on Twitch, and I go by Summit1G. Basically, what I like different about the keyboard compared to the one I'm using right now is I'm using red switches right now. It feels like you have to press the red switch keys down a lot further than you have to on the new rapid-fire keyboard. It feels a lot different. It feels like you're going to be able to type faster, pressing keys down while you're moving in Counter-Strike and stuff like that. It's going to be a lot more natural. It's just going to be quicker in general. I like the rapid-fire keyboard because of the new key switches and feeling like pressing them is just super natural and just easy for me.
Do you play Counter-Strike? Do you want to play with the pros? Do you want to play against this guy?
Going in for his team.
Or this guy? Perhaps even this guy. Okay, maybe not him. Sign up now to Faceit.com and take your game to the next level. Play against the pros only at Faceit.com.
My name is Forrest. I'm Get Right. Freiberg. You want to beat an old timer like me? Come try us at Faceit.com.
The home of all the good stuff.
Well, Cloud9 with a pretty handy, well, I want to say handy defeat, but actually, Sick kind of had something to say about that, because otherwise it seemed pretty straightforward for Cloud9 otherwise.
Yeah, no, I mean, Sick was the linchpin for the side of, how have I forgotten the name? It's too late, it's too late.
TSM.
TSM,
Yeah,
there you go.
TSM.
I was like, oh my god, I'm forgetting now as well.
You did, yeah,
It's contagious.
The pressure is just too much. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it completely, tried to bring it home for them at the end. Sadly couldn't. And, Cloud9, they had a very convincing performance on both maps.
Well, their start as well. On the second map, their start was like 8-0 or something up. So to come back to a 16-13, just overall, that CT side was actually pretty good coming out from TSM. It's just that their previous side wasn't good enough. It was an 11-4 first half, and to come back and you go, actually, that was really close towards the end, you sort of think, maybe if you squeeze out a couple more rounds, they would have won that. So, yeah, huge props to Sick for having a great performance. I think Desi as well as a stand-in did a great job. Can't take anything away from him on their T side. He was one of the only Pinnacle players. But overall, having that poor of a start, it kind of doesn't really help you in the long run.
Yeah. And I was impressed about the start because of Cloud9. Maybe it's them, just the style that they have, but also perhaps mixed in with the confidence that they probably have against TSM. They probably feel like they're never going to be losing that. Their record's pretty good, and I really like the aggression that they took. We saw even like double AWP aggression. I mean, with double AWP, sometimes you see like, okay, there's a cap boost, and maybe they'll boost the guy on count to like get an angle in. It's like kind of passive aggression. But actually, we saw stuff like Twist peeking in double doors. At the same time, we got Twist, Stewie peeking in the double doors. At the same, Twist actually not even on the server, not even in the game, not even in the play, of course. But yeah, you got Stewie peeking the doors with an AWP, very aggressively as C2 side. At the same time, you got Skadoodle like pushing catwalk with an AWP as well. Like both, I mean, it's rare that you see like double AWP aggression in the same place like that. I thought that was awesome, and I saw a lot of like aggressive stuff from Cloud9 to try to like really like dominate TSM, and it was, as you say, like a 7-8-0. So that worked pretty effectively. I mean, I felt like they were outskilling TSM, but the second half kind of showed us a little bit differently.
Well, it really was up until that Sick moment where he just gets that 1v3. Because up until then, I think he was something like 10-14 or something close to
like
that,
20
maybe 12.
frags in like 5 rounds.
But he really wasn't on the map. And then the last few rounds, it was like that kick started the engine. It was just like, okay, I've got 3 frags, I've clutched it. The next round he gets 4 holding down the B site alone. The next round he gets a jumping AWP shot. It was like everything just went for him at that one point. And yeah, obviously a lot of players do work off confidence, but that was ridiculous. That was like going from, okay, I'm not really here, to I am the best player in the server by a huge margin. It's just ridiculous.
All right, Harry, do you have any closing thoughts, anything that stood out to you in the match before we wrap up the analysis?
Yeah, no, I mean, aside from, the obvious about Sick just turning up, I feel like Stewie had a fairly strong performance as well. Kept bringing consistently high numbers, kind of fell off a little bit towards the end, but I mean, in the early stages, especially during when we really saw kind of Cloud9 in their element, I feel like a lot of that was him kind of helping to drive it home, backed up, of course, by Skadoodle with the AWP, like you say, kind of using the double AWP aggression really well.
All right, well, I think that about wraps up for the analysis, but one thing before we go that I must remind you guys about is that you can now go and grab some tickets for our finals for ECS Season 2 live in Anaheim, and that will be the 9th to the 11th of December, and you're paying for the 10th and the 11th to view the games live in the arena. And if you go to anaheim.csgo.com, then you can go find out all the information about flights, hotels, local attractions as well. And also, is that right? I think I heard that, is it free tickets for students? Yes, free tickets for students.
Awesome.
So that's
I'm
pretty
going
awesome.
back to school.
So yeah, go back to school, enroll as quickly as you possibly can, and maybe you can grab a seat over at Anaheim for our finals. But I think otherwise, that's all from us 3 for today. But we will be coming back tomorrow stronger than even today, with I think at least 8 maps of Counter-Strike for Europe and North America. See you then.